We all love the show Marvelous Mrs Maisel for the depiction of strong women, funny comedy and charming period scenes. But did you know the story behind the pretty hats Midge wore in the show? Or about the story behind Midge's character? Watch till the end to know 10 awesome trivia about the Marvelous Mrs Maisel. Welcome to our channel, Awesome Trivia. We love doing research on our favorite TV shows and movies, to bring you fun collection of awesome trivia and memorable scenes. Please support us by subscribing to our channel, also please like, share and comment on our videos. Number 1. Rachel Brosnahan is actually a Mrs. Actress Rachel Brosnahan recently revealed that she and actor Jason Ralph have actually been married for a whole 2 years before making it public. Jason is an American actor best known for his role of Peter Pan in Broadway. The couple had gotten married in secret in 2016 and managed to keep the secret going for a surprisingly long time. In 2017, Ralph posted this picture of a Subway ad on Instagram and wrote, "I know her." Number 2. Mrs. Maisel wore over 30 hats in the show, all acquired from a one marvelous Long Island woman. Hats play a very important part of the show, as it completes Midge's entire look and her presentational mood. She wore as many as 30 hats during the show, all acquired from Rose Harper. Harper, who dies in 2010 at age 90, was the original owner of 30 period-appropriate hats used in the show. Rose was a bit of a Midge in her day, setting out to break the mold of society's norms. Series costume designer Donna Zakowska acquired Harper's collection of 30 custom-made vintage designer hats commissioned in the 50s from Harper's brother at an undisclosed price. Number 3. Initial advertisements for Marvelous Mrs Maisel made inaccurate and confusing religious statements for the Jewish audience. Early Amazon promos for the series described Midge's home as an elegant Upper East Side apartment perfect for hosting Yom Kippur dinner, which may have confused potential Jewish fans since Yom Kippur is marked by fasting. There is a meal called a "break the fast," and while the pilot episode of the show gets that right, the advertising does not. Number 4. It is almost a miracle that Rachel Brosnahan bagged the lead role in a show about comedians. It is difficult to imagine anyone else play the role of Mrs. Maisel now, but there was a fat chance she would be selected for that role. Rachel Brosnahan lost out on comedy gigs because people didn't believe she was capable of being funny. A lot of these assumptions were based on her past roles, like in House of Cards and Manhattan, which were dark and grim. On top of that, she bombed the audition for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and was very sick during the screen tests. Number 5. The show depicted many fictional and some real comedians, but there was a real-life comedian in the cast who was not playing a comedian. Kevin Pollak, who plays Midge's father-in-law, started as a stand-up comedian at the age of 10 and he's kept going ever since. Pollak has had a fascinating career to talk about and he's never given up his comedy either. His autobiography is probably a good indication of that though, as it's titled How I Slept My Way to the Middle. Number 6. BROSNAHAN does not think of Midge as feminist. Despite treading on a traditionally male ground, Brosnahan doesn't apply the feminist label to her character. Hers is more of a quiet, personal, subversive revolution. "What I love about Midge is that she is so not a feminist," she told the New York Times. "She's a creature of her time. What she is curious. She's insatiable. If she doesn't know things, she wants to know them. And she doesn't know any other way than forward." Number 7. Creator Amy Sherman Palladino took a lot of inspiration from her father, who was a real-life comedian who performed at Gaslight Cafe. The pilot opens in 1958, which required a healthy amount of research, but Sherman Palladino had the inside track. Her father was Don Sherman, a stand-up who started off in the Greenwich Village comedy scene. She grew up with stand-up comedians hanging out in her house. Gaslight Cafe, where Joel performed and where Midge drunkenly debuted as a comedian, is an actual venue Amy's father performed. Amy dedicated an episode to her father. Number 8. Lenny Bruce's character is real and depicted accurately in the show. Although most of the characters in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel are works of fiction, one main character's name definitely stands out to comedy fans. Yes, Lenny Bruce was an actual stand-up comedian from the 50s and 60s, and a lot of the jokes and elements of his life that Mrs. Maisel presents are true. For example, Bruce was known for spending multiple nights in jail for offending crowds at his comedy shows. One of Lenny's most memorable jokes was about Liz Taylor. This is directly taken from reality. Bruce made that exact joke when he debuted on The Steve Allen Show in 1959. Number 9. Shy Baldwin's character seems real because it is based on two music legends from 1950s. Shy Baldwin, the sultry-voiced singer, takes center stage in the season 3 of the show, with MIDGE Maisel as his opening act. He's likely based on one or more real-life musical icons of the period. The most popular theory is that Shy Baldwin is based on legendary performer Harry Belafonte, of the Banana Boat song fame. There are several mention or hint of real-life characters from that period, which helps draw parallel between Baldwin and Belafonte. The second theory is that Shy's character is based on Johnny Mathis. Johnny did make Christmas albums like Shy and had the same people as musical inspiration. Midge's actor Rachel confirmed in an interview that Shy was mostly based on Johnny Mathis. Number 10. Mrs. Maisel is not a real character, but probably inspired by Joan Rivers. Amy Sherman Palladino was inspired by childhood memories of her father, and admiration for early female comics such as Joan Rivers. Midge is brimming with the same kind of pioneering spirit and brashness exemplified by early female comics like Joan Rivers. Brosnahan watched a lot of Rivers' performances to prepare for the role, and even though their styles are somewhat different, their drive and tenacity in a male-dominated field is the same.